Hi friends, Crystal here from Homemaking on the Homestead, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you some tips and thoughts on joyful homemaking. Sometimes homemaking can feel like a thankless job. You do the same chores over and over, and you wonder what is the point, and it can be discouraging and depressing at times, and that is not how it needs to be. Of course, you're going to have those jobs you're doing over and over again, but there is so much joy if we look at a much bigger picture, and that's what I want to just kind of focus on today, is that bigger picture. The first thing that comes to my mind is homemaking is a calling. It is not a job. It is a calling. And, with the job, you go, you do your set things that you need to do at a job. When the day is over, you go home. At the end of the week, you collect your paycheck. If you were to quit your job, you could be easily replaced. But as a homemaker, that is not the case. You are in charge of your home, and you cannot be replaced. God has given you your husband and your children because He felt that you were the most capable person of taking care of them. The job of a homemaker is a ministry. It's one of love and service, devotion, and caring for the people that are the most important in your life. And it's important to remember all the floors that you mop, the laundry that you wash and put away, the food that you cook, all those things that you are doing all the time is a way to say, I love you and you mean the world to me, to those people that are the most important to you. So as you are going about your daily life as a homemaker, I think it's important to keep in mind the routines of life. I know I have talked about that many times on my channel, but there really is something about bringing structure and order to your day that will bring you a lot of joy and a lot of peace. Make sure that you spend time every day invested in your home. Keep up on the clutter and basic household upkeep type of things. Spend some time cooking food. Spend some time just invested in the things of your daily life in your home. Have a vision of what you want your home to be. If your home is not where you want it to be and it is not functioning as you would like it to be, then what is your vision? What do you want? What kind of order? What kind of environment? What kind of mood do you want to set? What is it that you want in your home? Write that down and figure out the ways to make that happen. As homemakers, we have so much control over the environment of our home. We have basically all the control to create a home that is peaceful, to create a home that doesn't have chaos, that isn't filled with things that are causing stress. So tackle those things that cause you stress and enjoy the peace that can come from that and create the vision of the home that you desire. As a homemaker, we can spend a lot of time invested in everybody around us. And we can then neglect ourselves and just some basic proper care of ourselves. And I'm not talking about a day at the spa or anything like that. I'm just saying some of the most basic things in my life that have made it possible for me to be the best homemaker possible and to find the most joy in homemaking has been simple things like getting good sleep. I know it's difficult when you have children and babies and things like that. I had 8 kids, so I totally understand that. But you do your best in whatever way you can to make sure that you get plenty of rest. When you get up in the morning, have the mindset to be prepared for the day. Take a shower, get yourself dressed all the way down to shoes. Treat it like the important job of life that it really is. Be prepared for that. And at the end of the day, my big thing is I try to make sure that my dishes are all done, my counters have been cleaned off. I find that it's probably one of the most depressing things to me to wake up in the morning to yesterday's work still sitting there looking at me. It just causes an overall feeling of depression and lack of motivation. But if you can walk into a clean kitchen in the morning as you're getting your coffee, that is very inspiring. And you're dressed and you're ready for your day. Those things can bring a whole lot of joy. Another tip that I think is really important to focus on is that we remember what it's all about. When we're looking at that big picture, we have to remember, why are we doing this? and what it's all about. It's really about the people in our home. It's about our husband. It's about our children. So make sure that you spend time, quality, good time with those people in your life on a regular basis. If you have children, read to your children. Bake cookies with your children. Go on walks with your children. Be invested in their life. Hug your children, hug them a lot, because time goes by quickly. And let me tell you, as the mother of my oldest is 40, as the mother of a 40-year-old who walks in my door and gives me a big mama hug, I am so blessed by that. And it's just important to remember that those things begin when they're little. And that's part of the joy of being a homemaker. And take time to read books to them and to sit on the couch and cuddle. And, I remember my kids when they were little, they would all, at night, we'd all cuddle up together and we would read books. And oh my goodness, we read books, lots and lots, hundreds of books over the years. And my kids have very fond memories of those times too. It was a beautiful nighttime routine. That time together creates wonderful memories and brings a lot of joy to your homemaking. Also, I think it's so important to remember to nurture your marriage all the time, no matter how difficult things get, or how stressed, or how hectic, or how busy everything might get, is that it's easy to put off the things that aren't right there in front of you, demanding your time and attention. And so make time for that marriage. Sit and spend evenings talking with your husband after the kids go to bed. Cuddle with your husband. Go run errands together. Do things together. Whatever helps to keep your connection going and keep your marriage, a top priority for you. In so many ways, if you think about it, the work of a homemaker at the end of the day is really all about your family. It is really all about your husband, your children. That's what it's all about. The house is very important in my mind, but we do the house and we do those things for them so that we can all live in a wonderful, peaceful environment that is a loving place to be and a secure home that brings joy. And that brings joy not only to you as a homemaker, but it will bring joy to everybody that's in the house. I think homemaking has a great advantage in that you can invest yourselves in so many different directions and be learning new things all the time. And that is one tip that I find to be very important. It's like no matter what stage of your life you are at, make sure that you are always spending time learning something new. There are so many topics out there and so many things to learn. I remember years ago, before the internet, I would go to the library and get books on herbs and herbal medicine and growing things and gardening books, and any topic that would come to my mind, I would just be all over it. There are so many topics out there, and whether it is the practical how-to type things, or whether it's biblical studies, or whatever it is that interests you, there is going to be resources and ways to learn about those things. So never stop learning as a homemaker. It enriches your mind, it enriches your day-to-day life, and that is a way to bring you the joy that you're looking for. And then the last thing that I think is so important as a homemaker is our attitude. I mean, if you are viewing your job as a homemaker as drudgery, as one more floor to wash, you know what? That's exactly what it's going to be for you, because that's how you're choosing to view it. We have the choice, and our attitude it determines a lot about how we deal with things and how successful we are as a homemaker. So despite the never-ending chore lists and the jobs that will always need to be done, I think that the most important thing that you can do is to have a thankful heart, is to be so grateful. Stop and look around you at that, the husband that you have, the children that you have, the home that you have, and the blessings that God has already given you, and view it from that of a very thankful heart. And out of that will grow a sense of gratitude for what you have. I choose to be grateful and thankful that the Lord has called me to this ministry. It has been the best life I could have ever wanted or imagined, and it has been a life of service and giving, and I have absolutely loved that. And I think that if we have that understanding that, as I said at the beginning, that this is a ministry, it's a calling, and I always make a a plug for this when I am doing any of these types of videos is don't neglect daily time in God's Word. The Bible is something that we need to have in our hearts, in our minds, and in our prayers. And that is, I believe, one of the surest ways to get the right attitude for what the Lord has called us to do. All right, you guys, those are my tips for joyful homemaking and thoughts on joyful homemaking. And I hope that it encouraged you today, blessed you in some way today. That would be my desire. And yeah, don't forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, would you take some time and do that too? I would appreciate seeing you back here and more often. And I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye-bye.